Today I'm going to show you how to make Salto snowmen. We're going to make a larger snowman here with the paper clip, and we're going to try a smaller snowman. So I'm going to go through the description of each one of these, as well as explain the recipe proportions and some of the different supplies you're going to need. Let's start with a tall Salto snowman. We need a paper clip. You're going to need some little branches, twigs for the arms. I find that the branches that are easier are just buy one of these wreaths at a local craft store and you can break them off. On our Salto snowman, we're going to make the nose out of this pre-made carrot. This is a simple process where you mix together and you can paint or make the carrot dough orange. But you can also use an orange toothpick. We're going to put some different embellishments right into the dough. And we're going to need some tin foil for this one. For this one, we're going to make a smaller one. We're actually going to make a baby one, so you can see these little caps to these nuts. I'm going to make one that fits its head into that cap. Here is an orange toothpick for the nose, some smaller branches. Cloves are fun for buttons, and we're going to set this baby one later into a little wreath. You can actually glue them like this into a little wreath. Now let's go over some of the other supplies that you're going to need for today's project. You're going to need tin foil. I like to use some parchment paper. After you make the snowman, you set this on the snowman on the parchment paper. You're going to need a plastic bag to keep your dough moist. And let's talk about the recipe. The proportion of salt dough is 1 cup of flour to 1/2 cup of salt, or 2 cups of flour to 1 cup of salt. The water proportion is going to be the same as the salt. So we've got 1/2 cup of salt. I often find that I need to estimate the water because you want the salt dough to turn out the consistency of Play-Doh. So in other words, if your salt dough gets a little bit too wet, I like to mix up on the side these proportions of flour and salt so that I can sprinkle some on the table, and if the dough is too wet, I can add this. On the other hand, if the dough is too dry, it's nice to keep some additional water on hand. Moving this way, you're going to need a little bowl with some water. After we make our dough, we're going to put it in here and make a little paste to glue the items together. Now, if you don't have any special sculpting tools, you could just take a paper clip. You can unfold the paper clip and use that. You're going to need a mixing bowl, and this is really important. Once you start gluing embellishments on, you will need a bowl of water with some ice cubes if you're using a glue gun, so that if the glue gets on your fingers, you can dip them into the water, but we're not going to need that right now. So let's first mix together our ingredients. A cup of our flour, a 1/2 cup of our salt, we're going to mix it together. Then we're going to add our water. Let's see if a 1/2 cup is a correct estimation of the amount of water needed. Now once I mix it so far with a spoon, it's time to get your hands dirty. Keep kneading the dough till everything is mixed in. And then we're going to put the dough into the plastic bag to keep the dough from drying out, and then go wash and dry your hands. I like to put a little bit of my flour and salt mixture down. We already have the 1 tin foil for the larger ball, but we're going to take our other smaller piece of tin foil for the middle ball. Then we're going to need an even smaller piece of tin foil for the head. This keeps the snowman from getting too heavy when you hang it on your tree. Take some dough out. Seal your bag. Work the dough until it's smooth. The dough feels just a little bit dry to me. So we've got our water mixture here. We can add a little bit of water. And we want to add a little bit of our dough into our water mixture to make a little bit of paste. So this is going to be about what we need for the middle. So we're going to need a little bit of a bigger one for this bottom piece. And for the top head, proportionally, a little bit smaller piece. Flatten out your dough in your hands. Roll it around your piece of tin foil. You want to smooth it out as much as possible. If you put more dough around the head, around the ball of the foil, you won't need to cut your paper clip, but I misjudged there. So we'll go ahead and stick the paper clip in. And there you have the big snowman. So I'm going to make the head of the snowman fit into the little top of the nut. Now I'm going to make an elongated body. If the dough feels dry, just work it in between your fingers. I'm not going to put any foil into this little guy. We're just going to give this one 2 pieces. We're going to take the cloves, break them off, create some buttons. And we can sing the Frozen song. Do you want to build a snowman? Arms, dip them in some paste. And we'll take the end of the toothpick. And after we bake the snow, and we will paint the face. or you can leave them out to dry in the air. It will take about a week to dry, and you're going to need to fill in the back because there'll be an open crack. Just use some of your dough mixture and fill it in to smooth it out. So I'm going to show you some supplies I use to accessorize the different salt dough ornaments, and particularly in this case the snowman. For the cheeks, any basic makeup rouge works with some Q-tips. If you don't have a stylus, this is called a stylus, you can use your paper clip. I like these Prism color pens. I've got a 03 and a 08, so for different sizes. Basically any acrylic paint, white and black. After the paints and the different items dry, then we take it outside and spray it with some clear glaze, craft glaze, to give it a little bit of a shiny finish, so you can see in particular this one. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do the cheeks first. And I'm going to use my stylus, and I'm going to use some black paint. And give the snowman some whimsical eyes. Kind of creating a bit of a teardrop look. And now we will take our different pens. We're going to use the 03, it's a little bit smaller. And then we'll give our snowman a little mouth. If you'd like to show that the embellishment is like a patch, then you would basically do that by looks like some stitch marks.